My heart rages around like an ocean in my head because there are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams.
Ok, bonjour. Bonjour. Alors, bon. Hop, je vais mettre la cam. Voilà. J'attends que l'écran de chargement soit terminé. Il n'y en a plus pour longtemps. Pour pas vous niquer les yeux. Hop là. Voilà. Ok, c'est bon. Oh, il y a eu un reset de ça, ok, très bien. Du coup. Hop. Voilà. Donc ici on avait tout fait, il fallait faire le cycle suivant. Je veux juste terminer ça. Je devrais pas en avoir pour longtemps, je pense.
All set to go. Now, let's take a stroll nearby and randomly pick out some visitors.
These suggestions are surprisingly detailed. Choosing film prototypes, recreating the scene cutting process, budget management for costumes, makeup, and set design. Oh, Paimon's head is spinning. Why is Also, nearly every single person we spoke to said they wanted to see Lady Farina perform. Your popularity is off the charts!
To tell you the truth, I've no plans to perform this time around. Any star worth their salt knows their role. When I take center stage, all the spotlights are on me. And rightly so. But as a guest, I should step back and let others shine. So, instead of performing myself, I'd prefer to support you from behind the scenes. Perhaps as a consultant for one of your attractions, or...
Hey, that's right! Movie masterpieces is all about film expertise. There really would be no better candidate.
Wonderful! Then I shall give this... Once I've had a moment to prepare, we can meet up for a slice of gâteau from my pâtissière suprême before we get started.
A slice of gâteau. C'est marrant qu'elle lâche des mots en français comme ça. Voilà, donc ça c'est fait. Vous, je m'en fous. Voilà, lui il est au max. Bon, je pense que je dois en avoir pour une petite demi-heure max pour faire ça. Pour finir ça. Et après, on fera la quête d'histoire d'Escoffier. Je pense comme toutes les quêtes d'histoire, ça doit durer 1h30, 2h max. Quoi ? Qui me fait des trucs bizarres. Bon, j'ai pas eu le bonus. On peut une pièce, bon c'est pas grave. Hop là. Voilà, ça c'est fait. Ah, c'est pas ça, c'est T. « 21, j'ai 27. Allez. J'imagine que là, comme c'est les derniers, à chaque fois, je dois tout élaborer. C'est quoi ça, c'est gentil ou c'est méchant? Oh non, je passe en dessous. C'était nul. Bon voilà, ça c'est fait. Ça j'ai passé pour l'agrandir, mais faut que je gère le machin. Pourquoi la satisfaction a baissé? Pourtant j'ai tout. Voilà. Est-ce que le capybara peut booster le capybara? Ouais. Voilà. J'ai rien à 2. Bon, tant pis, je vais laisser comme ça. Il y a Varessa, Stichwin, Liné. Du coup, Linette là-bas. Furina qui va arriver ici. Navia. Escoffier. Dia. Il y a un peu de monde quand même. Bon, du coup, j'ai plus rien à faire. Ok, là, j'ai eu toutes les récompenses. Il ne reste plus que ces récompenses-là à voir. Ouais. On va finir ça.
Simply exquisite. As amazing as ever. Escoffier, have you ever considered starring in your own film? I can see it now. Val's en cuisine. A riveting tale about the art of extreme cooking. I'm sure it would be a hit.
As it happens, I'm already doing something similar. A brand consultant has been filming my training sessions with students and incorporating them into films about Fontanian cuisine.
Oh, no. No. A documentary won't do. I'm talking about something with a bit more drama. Your experiences as a chef could be turned into a scintillating story. In fact, I'll even write it myself.
Before you finalize it, please let me review the culinary terms, especially when it comes to how ingredients are handled, the timings and the quantities.
Great! It's settled then. And actually, I think I'd like to bring in the Traveler and Paimon as directors. Something tells me that the
No problem! That said, now that we've been granted Director Farina's approval, we'll really have to step up our game.
Excellent! I believe in you both. The gâteau was sublime as ever, Escoffier. Now, about time we got to work. I'll start drafting the script on the side, while serving as the consultant for movie masterpieces. Wish...
Ok. Donc je vais faire ça. On prend. Là, je vais avoir des thunes. Pas de 3 étoiles, donc on s'en fout. Je vais aller agrandir ça là-bas. Voilà, c'est au niveau max. Ça commence à coûter un peu cher. En vrai, j'aurais dû améliorer ça au max. J'ai pas assez. Ah bah non, ça prend aussi, ok. Hmm. Du coup, j'ai débloqué la dernière ligne. Après, je me demande... Voilà. Voilà. Si je cale ça là, je peux caler ça. Là. Là j'ai 2 et 1. Voilà. Comme ça. Ça me fait ça. Ça, je vais y arriver. Ça, je vais y arriver. Cycle suivant. Voilà, tout est fait. Je fais le cycle suivant. Hop. Salut machine, comment ça va? Attendez le lendemain à 8h. J'imagine que c'est la conclusion de l'event. Bah ça va bien,
Now that
merci.
things have reached this point, we should add
A pinch of salt?
a dash of pepper, actually.
Brilliant.
You two aren't talking about a new dessert menu by any chance, are you?
Not desserts.
Oh, we're talking about the script. Oh, my dear partner, photographer, rookie director. Our creativity must keep up with the overflowing enthusiasm of our fans. There's no room for dull scripts on my stage. Plot twists should strike the audience like a cloud of pepper, leaving them sneezing in surprise. Achoo!
The same logic applies in catering. I once heard Miss Emily mention that pepper could be used in perfumes. Perhaps I could find a way to make it work in desserts too.
A peppery kick to complement the delicate sweetness of cream,
Wow, the two of them seem to be working together. I'm struggling to imagine what a pepper cake would taste like, though.
Bah je l'ai fini.
Well, well, what do we have here? Escoffier's making a new cake? Oh, how exciting! When it's ready, do let me know. I'd love to try it.
Is it just Paimon, or does it seem like everyone's even more enthusiastic now that they've finished their work.
Why shouldn't they be? When your hard work pays off, that's when you should celebrate. It's like a batch of fresh macarons. You should never let fear of sweetness stop you from adding all the filling you please. After all, if there's ever a time to pile on the sugar, it's when you're making macarons.
Pile on the sugar!
Pile on the sugar! And why are we piling on the sugar?
Lepine Pauline, you're here! Is it ready?
Of course! It all went according to plan.
Huh? Were you off on some kind of important task?
I was indeed. Please accept this.
Oh, wow! It's a panoramic view of the amusement park with everyone's illustrations on.
Since the film Fantasyland has been such a success, we decided to create a unique souvenir to We built this park together brick by brick. So we decided we'd all contribute to drawing this map together too.
To be fair, it was mostly thanks to Miss Lepine Pauline. She's our expert when it comes to drawing after all. But we all did our best to leave our own marks too.
That's right! And on top of that, Traveler, I'm offering you a most special privilege. You get to add a mustache to my portrait! Cream-flavored, huh? Very traditional, but also very delicious.
Très bien.
All right then. Now that you're the proud owner of this commemorative map,
Très bien.
you can draw as
une
many
moustache.
different flavored mustaches on it as you like.
Merci pour le follow.
Sounds like a pretty tasty map. We'll look after it well.
Great. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. Everything's all in order. Now it's time to relax. Forget about work and just enjoy the park.
Ah, d'accord, c'était ça. Mission du parc, là on a tout eu, là on a tout eu. Bon, bah, c'est bon.
My parents always say, no matter how busy life gets, you should...
L'arc, où est-ce qu'il est l'arc? C'est lui? Ouais. Voilà. Mettre ça.
always sit down and enjoy a proper...
Is that Navia over there? Oh, it's been a while. Let's go say hi. Hey, Navia! What you up to?
Shh!
Get lost, Monica! I don't want to see you back here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack.
Wait! Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Huh. So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
Et paiement notre foiré.
Is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going
Overworked? I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Vermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back inside!
Huh? But you said...
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you! Come on.
Wow, what a horrible person.
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again. Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
At his family's request, the Spina di Rosula is trying to mediate on his behalf. Savannah is adamant that Vermont's exhaustion and illness have nothing to do with her or how she's been running her kitchen. She's refusing to have any kind of meaningful dialogue with us. Our next thought was to talk to the other chefs at the restaurant and get a better idea of their working conditions. But with Savannah watching them like a hawk, no one has been willing to open, and that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out, watching, and waiting for an opportunity.
Oh, shoot! It all makes sense now. Sorry.
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. Honestly, the way she was laying into Monica, someone had to step in. I'm sure I... And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage. Yeah, meaning it's gonna be all the more difficult to get the inside scoop now. Oh, I might as well head back to the Fleuve Cendre then. We'll need to come up with a whole...
Paimon will join you, 'cause this is...
Oh, guys, it's fine. You don't need to worry about it. That said, if a really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern, her name is...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to apologize for the scene you witnessed just now. We shouldn't subject our customers to that. This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered in...
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly...
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
All right. Since there's candy, Paimon will drop it. Not the...
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
A little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Well, according to Vermont's family, she hasn't always been like this. But that's a story for another time.
Oh, Paimon totally gets it. Come... Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper. Find... Escoffier?
Escoffier? Could this mean...
Huh? You know that name, Navia?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find Escoffier anyway.
plus comment on y va. Ah si, il y a une porte quelque part, mais je sais plus où.
So, who is this Escoffier?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer, before Savannah. She recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the restaurant back to its former glory. Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's history, after the culinary genius Modeste himself.
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow. Why the heck would she let Savannah—
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claims that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance, but none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food. In the end, Escoffier decided that as head chef, she should take responsibility, and she was sent to the
Fortress of Mirapede?
Well, you're right. The quantity of the substance they found was fairly minimal. Even the guards believed the whole thing was probably just an accident. Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress for long, but still, by the time she returned,
So that's what happened.
even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she still so I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to try and negotiate with Savannah on the staff's.
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants— It's simple. If the new head chef is stressing everyone out, then the solution is—
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove! You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom. What do you say, Hilaire?
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water first starts to boil. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef.
Excuse us, we're—
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up?
Okay.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy here?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef. Well, in her words, the Hotel de Boer doesn't need her anymore.
I guess I'll be heading off.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh, thank you.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every single shift.
Fiamma. That's the second time—
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take home.
Hey, I heard that, Navia! I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he might as well take them home.
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally complete every single time.
So you two must be the world-famous traveler and his companion, Paimon. Yes? Is there something I can—
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We're here to talk about Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to take the job in the first—
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid even. She wasn't at all
That's hard to believe.
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given the history between us, it'll be tricky for me to tell her she's doing her job wrong without coming across like a huge hip— Fiamar and the others probably think that Savannah gets it all from me.
I wouldn't be so sure about that, Escoffier. Look at this note we got from Monica.
She mentioned me.
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have, it looks like Monica still trusts you. As for the others, well, how can you know what—
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying—
Oh, Monica. Oh, I can't believe her! Powdered sugar is supposed to be applied sparingly. Look at all that on the wrapper. It's thicker than the sole of my shoe. Unbelievable! I won't stand for this. She has to learn. Come on, we're going.
Un film comment elle est partie.
Wait, so now she's,
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her—
Ouais, je vais essayer de faire des vœux aussi sur Escoffier. J'ai 31 de pity.
Wait, she looks like... Is that Escoffier?
Escoffier's back? Yes, I've missed her cooking.
I was just saying...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't brought it up, I don't think I would have noticed.
But, please, you have to forgive me or Chef is gonna... Okay.
What the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that you're just making your customer feel more If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake. But if I can't go back into the...
that's some backwards logic? How can you fix your mistake without being allowed to cook? If this is what from...
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With my layman's palate, it's not like I can tell the difference anyway. I was actually quite enjoying my meal until she appeared out of nowhere and started apologizing.
Oh, well, it's because Chef Savannah tasted a bit of the leftover soup.
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when Escoffier was head chef here. I gotta say, you're all looking a little
I mean, Escoffier was strict too, but I think the difference is that her criticism was more constructive, so you knew what you did wrong and how to improve, and we all knew that it came from a good place. Chef Escoffier was hard on us because she truly wanted us to reach her level. But these days, whenever we make a mistake, We just get told to wake up, get your head in the game, or just do it again. And it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef Escoffier had started working again in the Fleuve Cendre.
Monica, you don't need to call me chef. I'm not the boss here anymore.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then? That wasn't on you, and all of us know that. That banquet was a huge event, and so many staff were involved every step of the way. With so many moving parts, there's no way of knowing how that lumiline ended up in the food we served.
Lumiline? What's the—
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute, produced from an extract of the lumitoile. Apparently it sharpens the senses, so they used it to treat people with impaired response.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it stimulates the taste buds.
They also found that overuse can have mood-altering effects, and even lead to nerve damage. So it quickly ended up on the guard's list of controlled substances. Unfortunately, however, some food products containing the additive had already made it to the market by the time the guards banned it from the restaurant industry.
Everyone knows that in all likelihood, someone probably just purchased a batch of contaminated ingredients, but you took all the blame. We all know why. You just didn't want to see this turn into a place where tensions are constantly running high. And now look at you. A fry chef in the Fleuve Cendre.
What are you trying to say? Sure, the Spina's Tavern is no Hotel de Boer, but...
Oh, the Fleuve Cendre, you say? Great. That's where I'm downing from now.
Monica, I'm very happy with my current job. And there's no changing the past. We just have to let bygones... Besides, at the end of the day, I was the head chef, regardless of whose mistake it was. Ultimately, the responsibility lay with me.
If only Savannah was half the boss you were.
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as—
No.
So you— Escoffier? I thought you'd left this place for good. What are you doing back here?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned this place over to you,
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me you're not the boss here anymore. So stop acting like you own the place.
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's not—
What happened to not storming in and—
Ho ho! I was not expecting to see something this spicy as—
Huh? Fanasium?
Aye, miladies. Might I make a humble suggestion? Given that we have ourselves a tête-à-tête between chefs at the Hôtel de Bord, I dare say it would be de rigueur to settle this the traditional way.
Il a un accent vachement français quand même.
The traditional way? That can only mean one thing.
That's right. I'm talking, of course, about the tradition established by Modeste himself. The cooking contest!
According to legend, the founders of Hotel de Boer, Modeste and Savelli, used this method to resolve all of their disputes. Everything from petty arguments over next week's menu to disagreements over the cooking contest would decide who had the final—
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. But in fact, the cooking contest played an enormous role in motivating chefs to hone their skills, reaching new heights of excellence in the culinary arts.
Non, c'est un anglais qui essaye d'imiter l'accent français.
And indeed, the reintroduction of this institution in recent years
C'est pas téléphone,
has
non.
surely been instrumental in transforming the Hôtel de Bord into the top-ranking restaurant in Fontaine.
Reintroduction? Someone brought it back? Who?
What say you, Escoffier? Surely you of all people won't back down from this challenge. It was you who put the rule in place, after all.
Sure, I reinstated it, but I'm not a chef at Hotel de Boer anymore. Isn't this bending the rules?
I see no issue as long as both sides agree to the terms. We could simply treat it as an exhibition of sorts. Savannah, any
Exhibition. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all on the line. If I lose, it's up to you what happens to me.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose, you hand over the Codex de Board to me.
What? The Codex de Boer?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipes, including gâteau de... It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs of the hotel...
Present and former? Wait, but that already...
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy.
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well what I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left us.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the...
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Escoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Or are you scared of me getting my hands on the...
Savannah, you may remember that we gave her the original as a parting gift, to thank Escoffier for her years of service. Asking for it back feels a little,
Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue, as long as both sides agree to the terms. Those were your words, weren't they? And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the Codex. Well, Escoffier, you...
You sound All right then, let's see how much you've actually grown. I hope you surprise me, Savannah. I'd hate to find out that all you've learned after this long is how to chew people's heads off.
Believe me, I'll...
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms a little hastily.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the floor.
On a vu le codex Kalos, c'est celle avec les recettes qu'elle a un peu changées. On a vu que chaque chef doit faire à sa sauce. Oh.
So, this whole bake-off thing kind of came out of nowhere. Was it really sensible to...
Well, I got a sense that she's holding something back. But we chefs always express ourselves in our cooking. So if she won't talk, this might be the best way to find...
Huh? Holding back? Sure didn't sound...
Escoffier only picked up on it because she's the same way. Always closed off.
That's patently false, at least where your macarons are concerned. I've been nothing but truthful with you about the disgraceful amount of sugar you use.
Okay. That's one case where you can keep your thoughts to yourself.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventures. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide, partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients and developing new recipes. Their creations had an enormous For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Boer was made using a special secret ingredient that Modeste discovered on one of his adventures. So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things they had ever tasted. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Boer, which catapulted them to stardom in Fontaine's culinary, especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius, and over time, the recipes from his adventure log became known as the Codex de Boer.
Paimon's heard this kind of story before. Armed with the Codex, the Hôtel de Boer took its rightful place as the finest restaurant in the...
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years after their rise to fame. Then, Modeste passed away while he was still in his prime, and that was it. The end of the Hotel de Bour's heyday. It fell into decline, and for most of its history, it was just a nondescript place with a couple of cheap tables. It's only in recent decades that it started. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management before we finally ended up with Vanigem and the restaurant we have today.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels?
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from—
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Bourg they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagination.
Wait, really? Why though? Didn't that recipe make it into the Codex?
It did, but like I said, it's a dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret ingredient Modeste wrote about. So, reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau de Bourg of today is my own recipe. As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanigem's business sense to thank.
Oh! Huh. Well,
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Bourg, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine today. And who knows, maybe Escoffier's version is more suited to your palate. Just think, if the original truly was the perfect cake you're imagining it to be, there's no way the recipe would have been lost to history, right?
Anyway, before I left my role as head chef, I made a copy of all the recipes from the Codex, including my own improved versions, and turned them over to Savannah.
So what could it be? A symbolic thing? Like, whoever holds the original Codex de Bourg is the true head chef?
Well, it was clearly precious enough to give to Escoffier as a parting gift. Meanwhile, Savannah only got a copy. Maybe from her point of view, it's like management doesn't truly see her as being
You think so? The only thing is, it was her suggestion to give me the original in the first place. Well, a joint decision by her and Vanigem.
What? Huh.
Who knows? We could speculate forever. Better to just let our gâteau do the talking. It means besting her in this bake-off, and then getting her to explain herself, even if I have to beat it out of her with a spatula. However much she's changed since we worked together, I believe that she still has her chef's pride. And if she respects the art, she'll respect the out—
Well, I'm confident that you and your spatula can get justice for Froment. All you need to do now is win the contest.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Bourg is very complicated to make. Usually, now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple of assistants.
Well, that's easy. The 3 of us are veterans in the kitchen. You just need to pick 2 of us.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will—
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it.
Confident. I like it. Alright, let's start with—
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. I'll be using this cold press to extract flavor compound, a kind of special food processor I got the Fontaine Research Institute to make for me. It uses cold temperature extraction to isolate the essence of— but this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment. so that probably didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let me give you a
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Paimon's never used anything this weird before. Cool!
And done. These are the flavor compounds extracted from our ingredients.
Wow! Even the smell is so much.
Absolutely not! Throwing everything in at once will ruin the balance of flavors. We have to go slowly and carefully to calibrate the exact flavor we want. I'll demonstrate again now. Slowly and carefully. And voila! Now it's your turn. Not terrible, considering this was everyone's first time blending, but the Traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this before? You got almost perfect results on your first try. That goes without saying. Still, credit where credit's due. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook something from the Hotel du Bois' current menu. That's right. The true test of your cooking skills is the finished product. How's it going?
On va lui donner des macarons.
Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose, as I like to say. Now, let the grating commence.
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a bit of a connoisseur.
6 points.
What? Oh, well, fair enough.
That's 6 out of 100.
What?
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening to Lady Farina on repeat every day would make you an opera singer.
Me next! I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it out. Because it tastes like you just threw in whatever was left in the jar. 6 points.
Aww.
Now to the final dish.
So,
This is our last hope.
8 points.
darn.
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10.
What? How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and square.
I guess you'll be taking the Traveler.
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining. Maybe...
Chef Escoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire. What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're doing gâteau de...
And you think you're up?
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, Traveler, thank you all so much for everything you're doing for me. I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like to help you win this cooking contest.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. I'm sorry. The fact is, I'm a fine chef, despite recent events. I've proven myself in the Hotel de Bourg kitchen, so if anyone's qualified to work under Chef Escoffier, it's me. I think. I mean...
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Bourg?
I have not. But I'm fully rested now. I know I can handle it. I'll prove it. Let me whip something up. Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this, Firma?
I can't...
Do it again! 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 Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen, yes.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then Will I never be...
Dad, talk to me.
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological.
Monica, when did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so. But anyway, Firma, I'm so sorry. If only.
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order, you were the only person who looked...
Oh, come on. All I did was make you some tea. I doubt it was much help. Savannah was so ruthless toward you. I probably should have brought you something stronger.
She sounds like the worst.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find something wrong with it.
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it. In the trash now!
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
Every time you remake it, you just get another ear.
Either straighten yourself out, or get out of my kitchen!
So now, it seems like just picking up a kitchen utensil gives me flashbacks of her.
Oh, man.
The more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
Mon chien aboie. Allez voir.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't a quitter when you were working for me. And even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes. That says to me that you still hadn't lost that determination to prove yourself. What changed?
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe...
Dad...
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach—
But what if you can't find another assistant in time?
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect—
Oh! Well, Paimon and Nadia will—
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula—
Actually, I thought maybe I could help.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then, well...
You do this for us? Thank you so much, Monica.
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the other side seems like a guaranteed—
I know, but it's alright. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Fermat. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then I'm sure she'll forgive—
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go!
Great! Then it's settled. And to congratulate you all on making the team—
Spina sponsored? Wait, you mean—
Well, I promised the traveler a feast and a fleuve sang.
Yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
Alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food if you're alive. That's not a bad idea, actually. Wait, hold on.
That was a dream come true! Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
Why, Savannah? Oh, nothing. I was just flicking through the original codex. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something I hadn't noticed before. That might explain— But I can't find anything. It's just some hastily scribbled recipes in between diary entries from Modeste's adventuring phase. And most of it, the copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes from years of experience. Surely that's infinitely more useful than this old thing. Yeah, maybe. Still, it's just hard for me to imagine that the Savannah I knew would go to all this effort. We were. At least I always thought we were. She was a little shy, but meticulous with everything and everyone she dealt with. She made a few mistakes here and there, but she was quick to correct them whenever they were pointed out. And she was always striving to improve as a chef. Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief. Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is... I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the codex. Yes, with his good friend and co-founder of the Hotel de Bourg. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Bourg and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste would shut in Savelli's face. And with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions by his celebrity friends, he had less and less time to discuss the culinary. People started gossiping about Savelli, and their relationship between the two gradually soured. Everything came to an abrupt end when Modeste, still in the prime of his life and still hailed as a genius, suddenly, and that was it. They neither had a decisive split, nor got the chance to properly reconcile. Their story just... One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of jealousy, even as the latter was hoping to make amends. Unlikely. It's a popular theory, but there's no real basis for it. At least there are no... Still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do is... And that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut. Really? Well, I like the confidence.
Hop, le lendemain midi.
It's cooking contest day!
Ah, tu y a du monde.
Hear the news? Escoffier's coming back for a cooking contest.
Mesdames et messieurs, welcome one and all to the Hôtel de Bord and to this most exciting of cooking contests.
Savannah, I brought the original copy of the codex you asked for.
Monica?
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where they'll each receive a label. The labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final.
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it up to me. Getting a seat on the judging panel is a pretty...
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let the Hôtel de Bord cooking contest commence!
Commence. Pop.
Monica, Traveler, it's go time. Even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse? Gaspar? Get to work!
Even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Ah oui, faut utiliser l'attaque.
Looks like our two head chefs are raring to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is quickly heating up.
A little amuse-bouche. That should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and balance the flavor.
Alors, il manque 4.
So, what do you think?
Escoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's check on Savannah's progress.
I think this flavor profile is still a little bit off.
Donc là, si je mets 5...
The balance of flavors is about right, but the quantity is too low.
Pas réussi.
Enough! Oh, useless. Both of you, make like an egg and beat it! I'll do it myself.
Wow! Is Savannah serious? Can she really make up for lost time working alone?
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
Ah, tu as un gâteau comme ça, ils font 16 parts. Mais les parts, ils doivent être énormes.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg.
That was perfect! We were like a flock of snowing geese, completely in sync, working gracefully and elegantly together. Great work, team!
Alors. Elle est pas mal la photo. En vrai.
Time's up! Contestants, please take your dishes to the back.
Huh. That guy was right. You really can't tell who—
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as—
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a masterclass in how to make Gâteau de Bourg.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10. Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from...
Huh? Really?
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't had a single bite.
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a...
How exciting! I think maybe...
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too.
It appears the decision is unanimous.
Unanimous.
This gâteau is far below the standard we would expect.
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out...
Something's not right here. Savannah...
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has...
What? It's... Savannah?
No!
Ouais, c'était sûr que ça allait être saboté.
Hey, Savannah! What did you do? Oh, you swapped the...
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger. It was Vanishem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't... Isn't it more likely that Escoffier's lost her edge?
You judges! We demand... That's enough! As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility. Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off. What happened to your chef?
I don't know what you're talking about.
If you want the Codex de Boer that much, you can have it. Escoffier! But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything you put him through.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over, and I won. That means you owe me the Codex, and I owe you no—
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without looking to expose what you've done. But only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your—
Fine. I'll treat this as your final handover of duties from one head— So, will that be all, ex-head chef? Or is there any other
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss. Just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input from other people anymore.
I know what I'm doing. I don't need your—
All right, fine. I'm glad.
Escoffier?
The Codex de Boer! Fine.
Escoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is a souvenir of your time here! Doesn't that...
It's alright. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. That's... Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve everything, I'd have just done that in the first place. I mean, why bother with the whole cooking contest? It's such a waste of time and energy.
No. No!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets. No nothing? I don't believe it. This can't be happening.
Oh, Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress and exhaustion.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she puts the most pressure on...
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only realize how long she's been at it.
But why?
Our best guess is... she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than Escoffier.
And there it... Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the...
About that, we honestly have no idea how she did it. We were focused on our own work the whole time.
Leone and Algalia were the ones I tasked with labeling the cakes. I've already spoken to them both. They're at a loss to...
Not to worry. Come on, join me downstairs. I'll interrogate the guilty gâteau myself.
Interroger le gâteau.
Well,
rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad? I made sure the taste tested before it was served.
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it, or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
I'm sorry. I was forced. It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would.
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans.
I was the one who caused the food safety incident.
Food safety? Wait, you mean the Lumalin incident?
I think so. Savannah and I were on procurement that day. I didn't check everything
Moi,
as
je
well
pense que
as
c'est
I should
Savannah.
have, and so I let contaminated ingredients make it into. But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them. But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to
This is crazy! So Savannah pressured you into sabotaging Escoffier.
I know, it's terrible. I'm so sorry. I was so scared. The thought of Chef Escoffier. I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously? All this...
Huh?
Firstly, it's not like I got a life sentence. I did my stint at the fortress, and now I'm out. And secondly, so you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or...
You mean...
Oh, well, I'm not saying you don't have to take responsibility for your mistakes. You should tell Vanagem to mark down your performance for the past few months. Then do some digging and find out exactly where those contaminated ingredients came from. Sure, you've made mistakes, but now's the time to fix them.
Understood.
Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to
I have my suspicion.
Ugh. What happened to me?
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Escoffier left. They think our menu doesn't taste like it used to, especially our signature items.
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. I couldn't put my finger on it, but the flavor seemed... But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and true
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night, determined to match Escoffier.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really gave it much thought.
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral ever since Escoffier
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier, but after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more unhinged. And at some point along the way, she switched from doubting herself to...
Doubting Escoffier? For what?
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details from her recipe. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine. The only one privy to all the secrets.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Of course. Then she finally got the codex, only to discover that the secret recipes she's been pining for don't exist at all. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah had the real recipe all along, how come she might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts she'd get it right.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier...
New head chef, you say? What's her name? I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Even if you don't believe in yourself. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone...
All this time, I've been blaming other people.
Bon, je vais aller voir mon chien s'il va rentrer. Hop là.
I sincerely apologize for putting everyone out. Savannah's awake now, but I don't think she's ready to speak to anyone yet. Let's give her the day to calm down. I'm sure you'll have the chance to talk everything out tomorrow.
In that case, I'll go and update for Ma and his family. I wonder what...
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
That was a long day. I think I've earned myself a
Oh, nice! Macarons or...
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose? Every year they migrate long distances in search of a suitable home. There's always one goose at the front whose job is to lead the flock. Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. They usually imagine someone who's a cut, but what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing. Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take. So the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss... I guess what I'm saying is, I don't buy into this notion that there's some sort of gulf between normal and genius. Cooking is a science, not magic. Given the same ingredients, same recipe, and same environment, I see no reason why two different people shouldn't be able to create the exact same dish. Of course, some people have a more sensitive palate than others, and some people are just born bolder or more conscientious. But these are all variables that can be accounted for with time and practice. I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believed that perfection can only come from the hands of a genius. The only reason I hold people to high standards is because, well, I believe they're capable of greatness. Okay, I've made up my mind. I'm gonna get to the bottom of why and come tomorrow, I'll give her the scolding of her life, pointing out all the mistakes she's made along the way.
Le lendemain entre 5h et 7h. Oh, c'est pas considéré le lendemain.
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Van check on her? Oh no, Escoffier.
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me. Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all? Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here, or we could just grab a cup of coffee.
Coffee.
When will Lily and Lynette do another show?
Just help yourself.
Moi, acheté les recettes. Ouais, ils en ont remis. Moi aussi, je me disais bien que j'avais acheté les recettes.
Coffee.
Bavarois au café. C'est pas mal.
Strong, bitter coffee beans, transformed through expert brewing and balance. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
Wait, what investigate?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small, I can't believe it's caused so much drama. Yes, except my failures were stepping stones to success.
Escoffier! Have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. What?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, I only to find an empty house with the doors wide open. I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hôtel de Bord. I'm worried something... If she's not here, then...
Boss, Escoffier!
Alphonse? You're supposed to be...
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this...
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch...
Wait a second. This feels familiar. Of course! From the Codex! They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures. Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any use. How come this
The Codex de Bord? Then this place marked in red out at sea. Could that be the fabled...
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and...
Ugh, idiot! Does she have a death wish? Those ruins at...
Hold on. There's more. Besides...
It was you. You let the Lumali... It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident?
Retrieve the Codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating.
She's keeping the...
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second to process this. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the...
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. Even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan.
We ship be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Est-ce que sprinter sous l'eau c'est considéré comme courir? Du coup, ça voudrait dire que Varessa va plus vite aussi sous l'eau. Elle sprint plus vite. Elle va prendre cette team là. En vrai, cette team là, Ayaka, Yilan, Furina et Escoffier, en vrai, je trouve que c'est une bonne team. Mais je n'ai pas Escoffier. Je me rends pas compte du buff que donne Shen Yi. J'ai l'impression qu'il est pas si ouf que ça en vrai. Ok. C'est le premier hôtel de bord?
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly the idea...
I think Modeste's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah,
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? Aw, they ran off!
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did
Good point.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the...
we have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides... See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now?
There is no time for that. Romaritime flowers and Lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us. Off to the freezer.
Ok.
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure?
Trust me, they'll love it.
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably...
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said?
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
Ah, faut en refaire un du coup.
The tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying.
l'inverse.
Hey, it's open!
Un coffre. Heureusement que j'ai vu. Peu de temps avant.
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my... Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the explosives. Did you not hear me?
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were...
Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you lapped up everything I told you. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way, so you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my ancestor. He offered Modeste his friendship only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I... So you see, you're no...
I am no Savelli, nor will I ever be.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior? You didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now?
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I...
Ooh, feisty.
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water bottles.
What?
Ever since I learned the truth. I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long!
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You... Oh, you're too much. I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? Did you really? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain too. A complete waste of space. No wonder you never amount.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed again.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me. But
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica.
Escoffier?
ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive!
Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat, but if you so much as flint.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to commit murder.
A recipe! You chefs are all blinded by your myopic focus on kitchen affairs. Well, Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his gâteau de bourg, and its
Are you serious? You're here because of a gâteau de bourg obsession?
I couldn't care less about the cake itself. No, he and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands, and they thought, ooh, this would go great in our cake mix. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right, I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by...
Will you listen to yourself? You're
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure.
Wait, what's the...
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Uh-oh, Savannah's going to...
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that...
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants...
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route. The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere.
Oh. Elle fait pas le saut du dauphin. Mais... Ah si.
They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
Ils sont morts. What the fuck? D'habitude ils sont tellement tanky. Puis comme ils sont grands, je voyais pas leur barre de points de vie. Ah, encore.
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests. Off to the freezer. It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers.
Bon, j'aimerais bien que ça aille un peu plus vite là, parce que... Merde. Hop là. D'ailleurs, je trouve ça honteux. Elle a des talons alors que normalement en cuisine, c'est chaussures de sécurité.
I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down. Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli!
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date. Huh, you really think?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff. Just like, okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely a pro. Darn it! Paimon was just about to show up!
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but...
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place, sadly, up above, on dry land, the treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. It turned Gâteau de Bourg into a national... Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He predicted all of it. He was praised as a genius. While I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was... Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I did not belong? I told myself that maybe one day, when I've finally created a masterpiece of my own, or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face. Unfortunately, that day...
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it...
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, Then this must be the place where they found their secret.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true...
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this, even though everyone swore they couldn't tell. Being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, locked himself away in the kitchen, but as he baked and taste tested over and over again, he found he only strayed further and further from the original. It was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but his sense of taste. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, it offers people the ultimate gourmet experience, but in the long term, it dulls their sense. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized it too late. Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, and because we had become estranged, I cannot be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final—
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, while also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of—
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from grace would be— what would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the— I cannot let that come to— I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his notes to remove the damning details, leaving mere fragments of our story behind. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price, I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for now?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at last. Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped your clutches, and we have held on to them for generations. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the Codex, and with it the last but now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is mine! Oh, it's empty. It's...
Monica? Oh, we were second...
Escoffier?
Oh, Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm, so he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last...
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing all that for an empty...
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous...
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord, you barbarian.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else! Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out! Gotcha.
My apologies. Embrace the ice.
En vrai, j'ai l'impression que Furina et Escoffier, ça fait pas mal de dégâts.
Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit chat. Let's get out of here.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no, you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho!
When did... I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Bon, c'est pas aussi impressionnant quand on est sorti du temple avec Saino, mais... Quand même.
Escoffier! Savannah!
Venegem! What are you all doing?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit...
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well...
I don't deserve any of you. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. I acted like a Come back, Escoffier. Come and be our...
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went...
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation.
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because of you. And you're not... If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's always doing whatever it takes.
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left. And Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore.
Mais il me fume son accent.
The fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, I don't know what is. At the end of the day, we're all human, and we all
At the
make
end of the
mistakes.
day?
All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong and do our best to improve. That's all that's humanly possible.
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmont and to Escoffier...
Well, about that, there's someone else here.
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Firmont? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell ill. But I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done.
Actually, I think I'm going to be...
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered, and as it turns out, she was lacing it with Lum.
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate the dosage, a small dose might simply make a person more emotional. Whether that mean more fragile or...
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost your edge.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said I should recover in no time. Well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to...
There's more. We believe that
You mean...
Oh, so that's what...
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumiline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most delicious thing in the world, while food you don't particularly care. So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it just... I mean...
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy between the temperature setting and the actual temperature. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that Monica must have tampered with. I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem and just... It all comes back to one simple...
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with it. Do you know how long I spent perfecting my gâteau de bois? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel? And declare you'll never be successful because you clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt. Or just how long it took me to finally get my recipe to a level I was genius or not. Everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes. Learn from them and then keep chipping away until you crack the problem once and for all. Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when I handed you the reins.
I haven't forgotten.
That's... Haha! Sounds like we won't need another changing of the guard in the Hotel de Bord.
What a perfect ending to a crazy journey.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to...
Friends again! So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right...
But that was mostly
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only
No excuses. This is a cooking contest, so grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today. Right?
Hey, so,
Oh, une petite cinématique.
Second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
Waouh, elle a déjà fini son gâteau. Elle a des petits cœurs dans les yeux, j'ai jamais fait gaffe.
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
Elle était pas mal cette cinématique. J'ai bien aimé. Ça me fume le gars avec sa moustache, on dirait que...
Quite rightly too. Piece of cake.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions? I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I had 2 reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Bois had reached, so I decided to step down and look for new opportunities.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue, and in her, I saw so many new possibilities. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, blizzard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't...
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact constellation of elements that gave their work, and the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore the endless possibilities out there.
Uh-oh.
Merde.
Don't worry, it's not gonna be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put anything into in the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Bois revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy and
All right!
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanishem that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so... She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble...
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, the so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the...
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste buds took the world by storm. And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug. Even if Sibeli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing in the... Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Hey! Huh? You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Rumoria. A magnificent jar thought to be over a... Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value.
Wait! Isn't that the jar?
If only it was still in one piece. Some butterfingers must have dropped it or something.
Oui, un maladroit. J'appuie pas sur le bon bouton. Oh, j'ai même pas d'IVE. Sérieux? Avec tout l'event et puis... Bon. Ça va me faire monter qu'à 38 de pity. Bon, à 4 étoiles. Ah.
I'm Aoife, a Sorrow vet from the Flower Feather clan. You've probably heard some things about me already, but it's all good.
Whatever impression.
Allez, une petite early pity, s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît. Oh. Non, j'ai pas le droit. Halt.
Huh? Hey, get out! Cuckoo! Huh.
Oh, j'ai 2 vœux ici. Moi, j'aimerais bien l'avoir, Escoffier. C'est pas là que je dois aller.
Add Thank you for
Parce qu'en vrai, Escoffier apporterait ce qui me manque à ma team Ayaka, c'est-à-dire un healer trio. Et en plus, elle buff. Donc c'est que du plus. Bon bah voilà. On a tout fait de la mise à jour, je pense. On a fait l'event, on a essayé les personnages. On a fait la quête principale. On a fait la quête d'histoire. Ça, c'est exploré. Le nouveau boss, je m'en fous. Enfin, je m'en fous tant que j'ai pas Escoffier. Et ça, qu'il faudra que je fasse. Pour avoir quelques primogèmes. Mais bon, pas de quoi me donner Escoffier, je pense. J'essaierai de la choper à Story Run. Parce qu'à vrai, après les persos, Skirk, pour le coup, m'intéresse pas. Et après, je pense que je vais plus me consacrer maintenant à up les persos que j'ai. Essayer d'avoir des constellations sur eux. Donc ici, avoir Escoffier à son rerun. Celle-là, je sais pas si je vais investir dans cette team-là. Investir dans celle-là. Enfin, du coup, Navia Shilonen. Dans celle-là, ma Wicca Varessa aussi, j'aime bien. Shuri, que j'aime beaucoup. Que je voudrais améliorer. Déjà, lui donner une constellation pour qu'elle n'ait plus besoin d'une structure géo, mais juste un perso géo. Parce qu'à la base, je devais jouer Shuri Navia. Mais bon, Shilonen est sorti et... En vrai, elle était trop bien. Mais du coup... Shuri, c'est le premier géo que j'ai pull. Et je crois que j'ai pull limite à la suite Shuri Navia Shilonen. Ou alors... Non, ce Navia, je l'ai dû l'avoir à son run. Ouais, non, je l'ai pas eu à la première bannière. Parce qu'en perso de fontaine, le premier perso de fontaine que j'ai pull, bah, c'était Furino. Donc ouais. Après, si je veux des primogèmes, faut que j'explore. Faudra que j'explore Natlan. Oshkanatlan, ça. Essayer de finir ça. En plus, je dois avoir le truc de chasse au trésor et... Et... Je sais plus quoi. Si, les pierres, là. Mais bon, comme j'ai des gros pourcentages, enfin des petits pourcentages, là, je vais d'abord explorer à la main. Utiliser les pierres dans les trucs comme ça, ou... Là, peut-être il y a 1 ou 2 pyroculus qui restent dans ces zones-là. Enfin, dans chaque zone. C'est pareil, à Inazuma, il y en a... J'ai pas fini d'explorer Inazuma. Il y a un pyroculus qui se cache quelque part. Ici. Mais j'arrive pas à l'atteindre. Je ne le vois pas. Je ne sais pas où est-ce qu'il est. Bon, puis j'ai pas fini d'explorer tout ça. J'ai fait ça et ça, 100% quand même. Ça, faudrait que je le mette à 100%. Mais je sais pas ce qui me manque ici. Sûrement des mécanismes, des trucs comme ça. Bon, Sangonomiya. Enfin, l'île de Watatsumi, il faut que je fasse plus. J'ai aussi, du coup, Ankanomiya. À 44%. Le gouffre. À 56%. Il n'y a que la mer d'antan qui est à 100%. Ça, en vrai, 74, c'est déjà pas trop mal. Hein. Bon, en tout cas, je suis content qu'on soit revenu à Fontaine. C'est vraiment une région que j'adore. Ah ouais, non, c'est la bijouterie là que je voulais voir. J'ai confondu. Qu'est-ce qu'ils vendent là-dedans? Une fois que t'as eu tous les sauts hydro là. La lumière elle a changé d'un coup. Des trucs comme ça. D'accord. Bon bah je crois que je vais y aller. J'ai un avatar. Ah bah IFA. D'accord. Tac. C'était un bon petit stream, je suis content. J'ai pu finir tout ce que je voulais avant la fin de la semaine. J'ai pas stream hier. Je devais stream hier mais... Il y avait... Comment ça s'appelle? Les 4 jours de Dunkerque, en gros c'est une course cycliste. Qui passait pas trop loin de chez moi alors du coup... j'ai été voir. Du coup ouais. Mais bon, c'est cool. La quête d'Escoffier était bien. Génial même, j'ai bien aimé. Les quêtes de Fontaine, vraiment, c'est que des bangers. Mais vraiment. Même l'event, là, il était vraiment, vraiment bien. Dommage que certains persos n'ont pas de voix. Ça, je trouve toujours que ça réduit de fou la qualité du jeu. Mais bon, les personnages principaux, on va dire, avaient des voix. Furina, Navia, Rayosli, une Villette, Kinish. Coucou. Aussi. Parce que c'est vrai qu'il n'aurait pas de voix, lui, ce serait bien cher. Bon allez, tac, je vous mets le lien du Twitter pour être averti des lives et du YouTube pour avoir accès aux rediffusions de live ainsi qu'à des shorts. Et c'est tout. Si vous êtes sur YouTube, n'hésitez pas à passer sur Twitch, lâcher un petit follow. Ça fait toujours plaisir. Tac, tac. On est à quoi? 167 là. Sur 170. On progresse petit à petit. Pareil sur YouTube, je vois que ça progresse petit à petit. C'est cool. Je suis passé à 91 ou 92 abonnés. Et genre plus de 10 000 vues par mois. Donc, ouais, c'est pas ça. Vraiment, c'est cool. Là, j'ai 11 006, 92 abonnés. Bon, après, les shorts, bon, ça fait gonfler les vues. Mais normalement... Alors, je sais pas ce que j'ai fait. J'ai foiré un truc dans la diffusion de des VOD. Ok, il n'y a plus de shorts. Merde. Mais je dois en faire, là. Je dois en faire. On est le combien? 16. C'est le 18. Je ne sais pas ce que j'ai foutu. « 18 la prochaine VOD. Mais là, je vais faire des shorts sur la quête d'Escoffier et sur l'event aussi. Faut que j'y pense. Faudrait que je le fasse ce soir. Et puis voilà. Bon, allez, sur ce, je vous souhaite une bonne journée, une bonne après-midi et je vous dis à potentiellement lundi. Voilà. Lundi, on fera sûrement peut-être les abysses et les salles de l'oubli sur Honkai. On fera ça. Allez, à lundi. Ciao, ciao.